about to celebrate the festival of Kepos. We call it Fetwa Fashe. They perform rituals here before the celebration. Line up here. These are wreaths, most of them from our sisters, our brothers in diaspora. They are here to serve as remembrance to all those who died during slave trade era. Condemned cell, we have it there. Female danger, we have it there. And here we have it. But we see more when we are celebrating the emancipation. Emancipation is every first service. So during emancipation, we see more of this. Alright, so we are done with the male dungeon, and that is Nana Tabe Shrine as one of the 77 spirits in Kepos. And the man sitting on it is the caretaker. As I said, we still believe in tradition. So he just there to pour libation whenever the chiefs want to ask something, whenever visitors want to see how it was done. Alright, do you have any question? You were asking about this? Okay?
Yeah, you've explained that well.
Okay.
So why don't you knock this through and do the experience room here? And why is this added on?
As I said, this was here.
This was like this all the time?
Yes.
Oh, it looks like this.
Just that the spirit was taken from here. And when they are bringing it back, it's just the spirit. So this step, or whatever you see there was there. There is a spirit in it.
Oh, inside?
Inside.
Oh.
So just the spirit that they pour lavish to remove the spirit, not the whole thing. The spirit was taken out.
Oh.
So as you pray direct to God now, they also believe that there's a spirit in this. So it serves as a mediator between you and then Almighty God.
Like Catholic?
Yes. So there's spirit in it.
Was the original walkway just right here?
It was just here, a very small.
Very small.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They made the doors very short in a way of controlling them. Because the warriors were difficult to control. The slaves outnumbered the officers. So it's a way of controlling them, detain them.
Right. Okay.
Alright, so let's continue the other side.
Do you know how to do it?
You can do it now.
Or should we come back and you do it for me? Yeah? Alright. Make sure you don't go. You wait here, yeah?
Yes, you cannot see from it. Imagine those who are there now.
Yeah.
So you are finding it very difficult. Alright, there is the second plaque. The date was this one, 11 July 2009. The family came all the way to visit the late President Mills. Thereafter to the castle, because Michelle traced their ancestral roots through this place. So they came to visit the place.
Have you got the list? The list of names?
No,
Okay.
we have one.
Okay. Okay, Martin.
So let's come here.
Go, Martin.
We are now at the dense cemetery. The whole place. was the cemetery, the graveyard. for individuals, I'm talking about the governors, the soldiers, and also we have some mass graves. Whilst the rest of them, when they died, their bodies were taken from the dungeon, the cells, into the ocean. So this is identified grave, one unidentified grave, and we have 3 European graves there with names. The very first one is the native of Cyprus. They were people that British baptized them. Are you comfortable with the sun, or we should go and hide somewhere? Are you okay with that? Or we should go to hide somewhere? Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. So British baptized 3 boys in connection with the church. They didn't see anything wrong with having the church on top of the dungeon because initially it wasn't the church for us. To them, they thought religion aside and business aside. But it got to a point that Islamic was taking over. So they also decided to spread Christianity. But they were facing challenges. Number one was they dying of malaria and the language barrier. So those 3 boys were baptized. They named them Philip, Thomas, and William. They sent them to England for training as interpreters, as preachers, for them to come down to help the gospel, or to help them to spread the gospel. But unfortunately, in England, 2 of them died whilst they were studying. Remained the last one, called Philip. For Ghanaians, as we are aware, we are named after the day that you are born. So born on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The person I'm talking about was born on Wednesday, a male. So he was Philip Kweku. But British couldn't pronounce the name Kweku, where the name was anglicized to Kweku. So the first group here, a native of Cape Coast by name Philip Kweku. He was born in 1741. He attended Cape Coast Castle School under the ordinance of Reverend Thomas Thompson. He was sent there. He came back as a priest. But the name of the church was called Society for the Propagation of the Gospel, XPG for short. But later it was renamed Anglican Church in Ghana today. So he became the first African priest of the Anglican Church. He returned home around 1765. He was the headmaster as well. So that same place that you see there was one time the church and the classroom, Cape Coast Castle School. People were taught how to read and write. He died 17th October 1816, and every 17th October the Anglican communities celebrate Philip Kweku's Day. So that is the grave of Reverend Philip Kweku. And Cape Coast was the headquarters of British administration. 19th March 1877, the capital was relocated from Cape Coast to Accra. So we have officers there, the governor's residence. The guided tour will take us there. Now, still at the graveyard, let's move to the tree. Let's come to the tree. The very first one here, by name Captain George Maclean. So George Maclean, a Scottish, was born in 1801. He was the president of the British Committee of Merchants from 1830. When Maclean came, the slave trade has been abolished, but still they were here. So this man became a judicial assessor, and he established the first court of justice up there, Maclean's Hall. He was also the person who ordered his men to close the tunnel in 1834. For us, we were colonized for 113 years. But before then, a bond was signed called the Bond of 1844. So this man designed that bond. It was signed by Commander Hill and 8 chiefs. 1847, 46 years, the gentleman died, confirmed malaria parasite. The middle one here, Letitia Elizabeth London, she was born in 1802, the wife of Captain George Maclean. She came all the way to visit her husband, but unfortunately 3 months after the arrival, she died. There were rumors and gossips that the wife died of malaria. Others says no, she committed suicide because the husband was having an affair with a black lady, Helen Bannerman. So out of jealousy, the wife might have committed suicide, or it could be the husband and a rival who connived to kill the wife. Where you have 3 schools of thought about her death. The very last person there is an army commander, a lawyer by profession, C.B. Whitehead. He was born in 1774 and 2nd July 1812 at a point that they were defending themselves. This man died. So that is the soldier 38 years. And these are the cannonballs, mortar balls. And over here we have the cannons mounted all around the castle in case of any attack. British were the last to capture the fort, but they defend themselves against their competitors, having these ammunition all around. So still at the cemetery in the courtyard, let's look at this. When you look at this side, it is very, very deep. You can call it a water tank or a water system. In those days, they were using wells, and some of them rely on rainwater. For this castle, rainwater were collected from the small openings up there to the cisterns. As we see, we no more rely on that. So it's from this one, pipe-on water. When there's no water in the washroom, they use it not for drinking. It is 1850 for 1,000 gallons of water or more each. 4 of them in the castle, 2 here, and we have the remaining 2 right there. Let's be on the canal. They use now, we use buckets to fetch. Yes, these are the washroom. Alright, do you want to get some more pictures on the tunnel, or we should continue the tour straight away? You want to take some pictures?